Welcome to the Camden County Board of Commissioners, a regular scheduled meeting for Tuesday, October 18th. If you'll stand, we'll have Commissioner Brandt do the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Let us pray. Father God, we love you and praise you. Father, we thank you for the glorious weather you've given us these days. Father, we thank you for every household that is represented here this evening. So Father, just continue to bless them and bless us as we go about making the decisions that benefit all of Camden County. For this we pray in your most glorious name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody, turn off the cell phones, watches, and I'll do the same. Done it either. Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Bishop.
Present.
Yes, they are. All right, at this point, do we have any agenda amendments? I'm gonna make a motion to, see, let me find out which numbers they are. I'll make a motion to, remove item 7 and five.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. All right, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries. We now have an agenda. This brings us to our approval of the meetings of the last public hearing and special call meeting and regular, 2 special call meetings. Anyway, could I get a motion on that? You've had opportunity to look at it. Any corrections, changes?
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Apparently, we have some presentations this morning. Who's going to do the presentation? For the employee recognition.
Yes, sir. Hey, good evening. How are y'all doing?
Good evening.
My name is Amy Peoples. I'm an HR generalist here at Camden County and also a member of the Employee Recognition Committee. I have the honor tonight to present the employee of the third quarter for 2022. Each quarter, employees are asked to nominate an employee who they believe represents excellence or someone who just really shines or stands out in their job duties. Tonight, we would like to recognize an employee who has been with Camden County for 5 years. This employee works in a very high-traffic office. Some of the comments from the nominations are, she always goes above and beyond her duties. She will come to your rescue with a difficult customer on a moment's notice. She always has a positive and cheery attitude. She is an absolute pleasure to work next to each and every day. Another nomination said, I am new in the tag office, and she is the one that is training me. She is wonderful, not just to me, but to everyone. She is always here for all of us in the office. She always has the answers and will stop what she is doing to help us out. She is an ace with the customers. Our employee of the third quarter is Heather Bruce Meddy, who is a senior revenue service representative with the Camden County Tax Commissioner's Office in the Motor Vehicle Division. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say she's not able to be here with us tonight to accept this recognition.
Well, bummer.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all can get it to her.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, thank you. I'm assuming the Domestic Violence Awareness Month is going to be presented by Marcy Costello. Oh, there you
Actually,
go.
I'm going to read the proclamation first. I was going to go ahead and read the proclamation first, and then
Read
she's
away.
going to give us a presentation.
There we go.
Ready? Whereas the National Domestic Awareness Month is recognized each October through educational events, community gatherings, and support groups to recognize that ending domestic violence starts with just one small action. And whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels, and the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, CDC, estimates nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States each year, equating to more than 10 million women and men. And whereas 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience some form of physical violence by an intimate partner, with 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men experiencing severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide critical advocacy services and assistance to victims. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Camden County Board of Commissioners the month of October as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and urge all citizens of Camden County to work together to eliminate violence from our community. And if we could have you come down and get a picture, and then Ms. Costello has a brief presentation.
Just a quick second, get your makeup right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so I give a bit of a brief update on Camden House operations.
Except this time.
Beautiful. Of course you are.
All right, so good evening, everybody. And once again, thank you for allowing me to come and get a little bit of an update about Camden House and the investment that you guys have made into our services and what that looks like and how we're making a difference in our community, especially during October, which is we just recognized as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And just as a note, I really would like to say thank you to whoever in the county is sharing all of our social media posts this month. That really helps us get the word out. So thank you for that. As always, I'm excited to be here to share what we're doing. And as I said, what your investment is doing to help the citizens of Camden County and victims of domestic violence and their children. But I'd also like to share some of the challenges that we faced over the last year. Much continues to change with Camden House, from the tornado recovery last year to the ongoing challenges we continue to face with COVID and now the current economic conditions, especially with inflation rates climbing upwards of 8 to 9% in the last year. Sustaining all aspects of our operations have been a little bit complex. All this is during a time when we have seen our services increase by over 200% in the last 2 years. Without increasing staffing and without reducing the quality of our program, our services have still increased over 200%. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like. In our last fiscal year, we received a little over 2,800 calls to our hotline. During the same period, we provided 219 participants with over 5,200 bed nights and over 15,600 meals. We provided 128 participants with community-based services through our outreach program. We provided support and advocacy for 141 children, assisted 33 individuals with legal and protective order services. We also provided 3,816 safety plans, 1,005 supportive services for housing, 955 supportive services for employment. As through all of that, we also provided over $73,500 in direct financial assistance, which included a little over $55,000 for housing and accommodation assistance. We also facilitated over 600 individual transportation services, and that's above and beyond any of the free services from the coastal coaches and services that they provide. All of this and quite a bit more. In fact, Camden House provided a little over 37,500 individual services this past year alone. That's 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, regardless of whether we had a tornado, regardless of whether we had a hurricane. We have been open and running every day. I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of the volunteers that we have. And as I said, over the last year, we've also had a lot of challenges. Now, when I originally composed this message, this was a little over a month ago, and I started off by saying, thankfully, we've had no natural disasters this year. And I think I had no wood around to knock on when I wrote this. We were affected by Ian. Fortunately, we received no damages, but we did have to evacuate the shelter because we were projected to be in a very dangerous surge area. So we did do that seamlessly. Our emergency plans, we've gotten so used to them now. We run them like clockwork. I can't tell you this, the staff services and how good they are at what they do. So we didn't have to recover from damages this year, but we did have to evacuate. We've also, in the last year, you may have heard, we've been facing federal cuts from our Victims of Crime Act funding. And they were originally projecting us to be cut about 20%. Instead, they cut us 70%. That's not Camden House. That is every single Victims of Crime Act agency that received funding in the state of Georgia. They all got different tiers. They did, however, give us an opportunity to write a competitive grant for ARPA funds through the state, which allowed us to recuperate the maximum amount we were allowed to. We did write that and we were awarded that. So we still ended up with about a 20% cut. However, as I said, we were able to do that. And we've also had some great opportunities to increase our fundraising presence and awareness in the community. We're also looking at increasing some of our teen dating violence programming, including starting a teen influencer council so that we can work with teens to educate and provide peer-to-peer mentorship to help these teens with those relationships. As we know, teens, the statistics with regards to teen dating violence is dramatically increasing. And those victims that we serve as adults, it starts when they're teenagers. So a lot going on, a lot that we've done. And the support that the county has given us is tremendous and we greatly appreciate it, which is why I like to come and share what we've done. And normally when I'm finished, I like to share a success story about someone that has been through our programs. And the last time I was here, I was actually able to bring one of our participants as she shared her story. But sometimes and that tells you what your investment is doing and the successes that we're having. But sometimes we need to remember why the services that we provide are needed. And those success stories don't quite fit that bill. And we need to hear a success story where perhaps we didn't succeed. And I'm not an emotional person, but I still get choked up on this. We did lose a participant in the last year that had been through our program, and we had hoped we had gotten her to that step where she could be safe. And unfortunately, her abuser found her again, and we did lose a participant. And it's just that reminder where I have lots of success stories. But occasionally we need that to remember why we're here and doing what we are doing. And that participant left behind an 11-year-old daughter who we're not sure where she ended up, but that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. And we're very good at what we do. And we appreciate the commissioners. We appreciate our community, the support that we receive. And we hope that we continue to be good stewards of not only your trust, but the investments that you make with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcy. At this time, there's a presentation by the North Camden Action Association to propose a multi-purpose community center to serve the residents of North Camden at the Maple Ford Park. And if you would just give us your name so we'll know who.
Good evening. My name is Pauline Haywood, and I am representing the North Camden Action Association. And I'd like to also acknowledge all the members that we have present tonight.
Raise your hand so
Yes.
Oh, you got a good sized posse there.
Right, including our officers, Mr. Charles Massey, our president, Ms. Sarah Williams, who is our vice president, Ms. Amber Walker, who's our secretary, Mr. Gregory Reed, who I'm sure a lot of you know, as one of our advisors, and all the others. I don't know if I have time to name everybody, but but anyway, second of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your agenda tonight. We have a PowerPoint presentation, and I guess it'd be better if I stand here. But
The only problem with that is, we got a mic she could use, so that we want to be able to pick it up. The folks that watch it.
well, I mean, as long as you can see, I can stand here if that's okay.
Oh, we see fine. Don't worry
Oh,
about it.
okay.
And Ms. Pauline, if you would just tell us when you want us to change the slide, you could just say next slide and we'll advance it for you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the first slide is just a slide of the association's logo. Next slide. The North Camden Action Association was registered as a domestic nonprofit organization on July 12th, 1999. And for the past 23 years, the association served the North Camden area, which includes Spring Bluff, Waverly, Honey Creek, Tarboro, and the White Oak communities. And some of the services included, we were a site for the Waverly Precinct polling place until 2022. They provided senior services such as distribution of fruit baskets each December, a yearly scholarship fundraiser, and community events for seniors and youth. Next slide. This modular building here, picture below, served as a place for our meetings and community activities until June 2022, when it was determined that the county did not own that building. So therefore, we no longer could be in there, and it was turned back over to the Scott family, which is the owner of the property. But as a result, next slide. As a result of us losing the modular building, the North Camden Action Association, Inc. is here tonight to propose a solution for consideration by the commissioners to continue providing services to North Camden communities. Our proposal is to have, next slide, is to have the Maple Ford Park Pavilion located at 2059 Spring Bluff Road rehabilitated and expanded as a multi-purpose community center. This would serve the residents of North Camden, and it would also provide strategic decisions and future planning efforts for the area. And while we currently have some small recreational opportunities such as basketball courts, baseball fields, and a walking trail, the creation of a usable, safe, and attractive space in the area will be critical to attracting new residents. Next slide. This is the interior of the building. Next slide. This is the kitchen minus the stove. It was taken out at some point. I'm not exactly remembering the reason why. This is the area view of the park and the building. Next slide. And this is the basketball court and baseball field. Now, what we believe the benefits of renovation to the Maple Ford Park would be was that it's an existing building, it's budget friendly, which means it's cheaper than buying a building, a new facility. The heating and cooling systems are already in place. The wiring is already done, but I'm sure it'll need to be checked to ensure it's up to code. The walking trail needs to be paved. Kitchen and bathrooms are already in place, but like I said earlier, we still need a stove. And it could again be used as a polling place. And we could use whatever funds are currently allocated for North Camden to provide new and additional services. It's also currently managed by the Public Service Authority. And the park grounds are used on a frequent basis. And I don't know, but I think we already have money allocated for North Camden. Okay, and not only that, there are 5 new subdivisions in that area now. Actually, 5 of them on Dover Bluff Road. 4 are already active and 1 is in the process of being done, which is Bridgepoint. So, you know, we have a lot of area and people to reach out to, and to get involved, because there's nothing else in the area that serves the people of those communities. And the only, potential obstacle we'll have is having staffing in the center. You know, I'm not exactly sure how that works in this area, but that would be one of the obstacles. And so the requested improvements, next slide. Oh, it's there. I'm sorry. The requested improvements would be a meeting room, an area for use as a polling place, a golden age component for seniors to do arts and craft, wellness activities, to include transportation services, a tennis center, improvements to the ground, landscaping, repairing the holes at the entrance of the building, and some green space. Improve the exterior and interior lighting, installation of windows. The building currently has screens throughout the building, and an outside sitting area with trees and grass, water features, etc., is what our proposal is. So we're hoping that you will consider that, and we thank you for allowing us to present this, our ideas. Thank you.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
It's Pauline, Pauline. Last name Haywood, Haywood.
Ms. Haywood,
Yes, sir.
has anybody looked at what it would take to do this? Has anybody? PSA?
I have met with the North Camden Action Committee. We all came up with this idea back, several months ago. And I talked to Mr. Boatwright about it. And at the time, we just didn't have the funding in place to do it with. So it has been discussed.
Okay. Does anybody have any idea what kind of monies it would take?
I don't.
We haven't done that research yet. We just wanted to present the initial
The idea.
proposal to see, get an idea, and if you know, your group was with us in doing that, then our next step would be to go and research and find out exactly how much it would cost to put that in place.
I think in spirit, I don't think anybody would not be with you.
Yeah, you know I'm with you.
It's the,
Right.
What's the
the age-old funding problem.
Yeah.
Matt, have you been out and looked at this facility?
That's not your, right now.
Oh, I thought that was Matt back there.
Do we know about what square footage we're talking about?
No, the building's good sizes there now, but it,
I know.
I don't know the square meter. Greg, do you know?
Well, why don't you come up here to the microphone so people can hear you?
Yeah.
You'll share.
Greg Reed. I was going to ask the chairman a question, and I don't know whether I heard him correctly. Did you say there isn't no funding problem?
No. I said, in spirit, we're all with you. I said, but it's everything else in government. It's the funding question. So,
Well, I guess my little bit about government, wasn't the Camden County allocated over, what, 10 or 12 million dollars to help with certain areas of the county? Wouldn't this come up under that money?
I'm sure there are various areas that we can get it from, but you know, one of the first things we do is what it's going to take to do that. That kind of gives us a direction. You know, we find out what it is. You know, there may be grants available. We get with our grant writer and find out. But I guess I'm not familiar with the facility, frankly. We just need to get someone looking at it. You know, possibly Matt. And get with, I know that the PSA is managing it, but
So is this on the list of parks that we're trying to get up standards to deed over to the PSA?
Yeah,
but it wasn't, this wasn't one of the original, this concept hadn't come to us at that time.
Right.
And we were going, even though the PSA manages it, the county owns it. And one of our goals was to bring our parks up to, a much better condition to get the PSA started off on the right foot. So now which brings me to the question. I know Laney's met with you. I don't really know what your plans entail. So probably need to get with, somebody. I would start with Matt. He's not here, you say? That bearded fella in the back looks an awful lot like him. I can't. I need to apologize to one of them though, I'm sure.
Chairman, so Coach, what y'all want to do is you want to take roughly the same square footage you got out there. And if you can, make it to the pavilion that we went up there. and built.
Exactly.
And, it doesn't necessarily, it could be a standalone,
Yes,
couldn't it?
yes.
I mean, instead of trying to attach it to what we have already. So you could put up a steel building, something like that and go with it. Is that
I,
what
I don't think that's what we're thinking.
Okay, but that's
We
what I'm
want
trying
to
to
use
get
the
with.
same building,
Same building that we
Okay.
currently
not
have.
build a standalone
You
Okay.
you want to make changes to that building,
building. That's right.
remodeling.
You just
and
want to close
upgrade.
it in, close it in and put windows
Right.
and take the screws.
Oh, you got 9 screens.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
What
We
I,
went over that whole concept that night. We had the meeting up there
Yeah.
of what we could do, what needed to be done to bring it in compliance to where it could be used, as I said, for community action associations, but also as a good polling place for voting and
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Because it's the ideal location for all of
Yeah.
that.
it is, and that area obviously is growing.
And, Commissioner Brand, it's big enough?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
make it work.
One option that I thought about was possibly doing a property swap with the Scott family to keep the existing lot where the modular building is, and maybe replacing the modular building, but swapping the property behind that, which the county owns, with the Scott property. I don't know if that's feasible or not. They might not want.
Probably have to talk to them about it. I'm curious as to how we thought we owned it, and they've been using it all these years. We've had that problem before, we've noticed.
Yeah.
Same with that property.
Yeah,
right there. So-
trust me, I understand. You'd think it'd be easier identifying property we own, but that seems to be a little trickier. And we started that campaign, so what I suggest we do is probably just get together and, get hold of Matt and just get an idea conceptually of what you're looking to do.
Can I ask one question? Okay, so now who's Matt?
Matt Fink, he's our facilities director.
Oh, okay.
The buildings, maintenance and everything.
He is. Is he on the line?
We do have a call-in user. I'm unmuting them now.
So he's the facilities director?
Matt,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just got on.
you're being talked about. Your ears must have been burning. Is that why you called in? Or somebody
I
texted
was,
you real
I was
quick?
listening on YouTube.
I can barely hear you, so get closer to it.
Sorry, I was
What we
listening
have
on
here,
YouTube.
We have the North Camden Action Association want to use the facility up at Maple Ford Park. And,
Yes, sir.
need to set up, some sort of a sit down with, Miss Pauline Haywood and whoever she,
I'm just representing the North Camden Action Association, that with our president, Mr. Charles Massey, and advisor, Mr. Greg
Okay.
Reed.
well, who would you want, us to reach out to?
The president for sure, Mr. Massey.
If you would just leave your contact information, make sure Katie has.
Actually, oops,
It was up on the screen.
the contact information is up. It was
Why?
on the slide.
We'll have,
Yeah.
we'll just-
Got it.
Matt, do you hear us? If you would get a hold of them and just to kind of go over what they're looking to do and what you think it would take and what kind of costs are involved, let's just see what's all involved.
Include me in that too, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, and, make sure Commissioner Brandt's aware of it, because obviously he's a double dipper on this one as commissioner and representing the PSA.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Do you hear me, Matt?
He did.
Yes, ma'am.
So one last question, and once we all meet with Matt, then do we get to come back here and present what our findings are? And,
If you would like,
we would like.
then
And
do.
then at that time, to maybe get.
We'll get with Matt and he'll give us a rundown and
Okay,
we'll talk about it all out here as well
oh, okay.
and just see what it takes to make it happen.
That'll work.
I mean, we gotta start somewhere and
Yes,
let's start there and see if we can figure out about the money.
sounds like a plan. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Right now, there's, looks like 17,000 allocated for that part.
For what?
I'm not a contractor, but that's not gonna build a lot,
Oh, no.
is it? Wait a minute now, hold on, we got a contractor here, he gonna probably do,
Might get you some windows.
just. All right. All right, well, this brings us to our first public comment section on items in the agenda. Anyone registered? Anyone desire to address the board on items in the agenda? The last public comment section is
Wow.
a buffet of your ideas. All right, seeing none, like to, go into a public hearing, so could I get a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and convene a public hearing?
So move.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Yakabachi.
Dear Mr. Chairman, good evening, Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, I'm asking for approval of the fiscal year 2023 capital improvement element draft of our comprehensive plan. This report is required to be updated annually in order to be considered as a qualified government for any grant application. Once this document is approved by you guys, I'll send it to the CRC to send it forward to the DCA to be approved, and then I'll bring it back for final approval. So staff would recommend approval on this.
All right, anybody have any questions? Barry? Stand by. Could I get a motion to adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting?
So moved.
Oh, before we do that, hold one second. It's a public hearing. Is there anyone here desired to speak about the CIE? Now, we did our public hearing part. Now, could I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting.
Second.
Have a first and second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Now to our regular agenda.
Yes, sir. I'm asking for approval for the fiscal year 2023 capital improvement element draft of the comprehensive plan. Staff would recommend approval on this.
Could I get a motion on this item, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Joy. Chief? Well, every time, I'm telling you, it's getting to be where every time I see y'all, I think, seeing my youngin', what you want?
Well, good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Today, we're asking for the approval to purchase two firehouse gear dryers and one extractor for a total of $26,096.37 to be funded out of the capital expenditures. These we have one extractor now that is stationed out of Station 11, which has spread out as we are, doesn't allow us, it takes more time moving around to try to get gear washed. Of course, as you know, with cancer and the cancer policies and infectious diseases, these are things we've had MRSA within our, we've had to keep on top of during our training. So this would allow us, we'll put one of the gear washers at headquarters and then one dryer at 11, which will allow us to meet these. And then also we use these the one at headquarters will be used to wash as we put things back into our inventory.
And you currently have
We have one extractor
for everywhere?
for everywhere.
Total?
So what we're doing is St. Mary's has one and Kingsland does, so we've kind of been asking if we could come over and use theirs to accommodate some of these.
How often do you have to wash the gear?
Actually, after every structure fire, you should wash your gear, which at this time, because of what we have, we do not. So with the gear dryers, what that'll do, that'll allow the gear to dry quicker. So that way we can wash more gear and get more done
instead of, because right now they're having to dry, takes sometimes 2 to 3 days to do so.
Anybody got anything else?
Guess they don't sell these types of dryers at Lowe's, do they?
I'm sorry?
Said I guess they don't sell these types of dryers at Lowe's, do they?
Somehow I'm thinking, these washers and dryers you don't get at Lowe's.
No, you cannot.
All right, well, can we get a motion on this item, please?
Motion to approve.
No arm wrestle. All
Second.
right, we got a first and a second. All those in favor? Looks like you're gonna have you a couple washer and dryers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Motion carried, by the way. All right, I think, we got to swear it in for, I think our county attorney, Mr. Myers, is going to swear in Mr. Jared Wells.
Mr. Wells, if you'll come up.
That's who I thought was.
He's about to get you now.
Well, I told him, I said, one of them I need to apologize to.
It's okay, he's just gonna write you a citation.
He's here.
All right, this is the swearing in as a code enforcement officer, public protection and compliance officer, and animal control officer for the Camden County Board of Commissioners, State of Georgia County and Camden. Mr. Wells, if you will raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute and uphold the constitutions of the United States, the State of Georgia, and the ordinances and regulations of Camden County, Georgia.
I do solemnly swear, I need to look at that again. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute and uphold the ordinances and regulations of Camden County, Georgia, and the laws and constitutions of the state of Georgia and the United States.
All right, sir. If you'll sign where you see your name.
What a memory.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Welcome aboard and bless your heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Myers. All right, this brings us to another appointment to our Camden County Planning Commission. Did we get a motion on that?
Yes, I'd like to appoint Jonathan McDill.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor, or is there any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. I guess he was here. All right, consideration of appointment to the St. Mary's River Management Committee. Anybody got a motion on that one?
Make a motion, we appoint Scott Brazel.
Second.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. All right, this brings us to item 7. I guess that's why Matt called in.
It's 8. Took that out.
I know we took it off, but
Chuck White.
yes, we did. Mr. White?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. I'm here to request Board of County Commissioners provide final approval for the purchase of the CRU 22 mobile command vehicle and supporting equipment as an example, but not limited to satellite, computers, monitors, communications outfitting, emergency lights, vehicle mounted cameras, and tethered photokite scene monitoring system. Expenses are $411,830. Funding source is ARPA in the amount of $420,000. History: Camden County Emergency Management is responsible for all hazards, large, complex incident management that includes, but is not limited to, active shooter, industrial accidents and incidents, hazardous material incidents, and natural disasters. Camden County Emergency Management Agency has no field deployable capability to conduct incident command in support of law enforcement, fire, and EMS. Facts and issues. The CRU 22 mobile command vehicle is listed on the state of Florida Sheriff's contract. The CRU 22 is a small platform built on the Ford Transit High Top 3500 that can be deployed by a single person. The CRU 22 will bring a host of command capabilities on scene, including a full communication suite, wireless technology, roof-mounted satellite that can provide voice over IP, phones, data exchange during loss of cellular, all replicating the capabilities of a brick-and-mortar EOC in a scaled-down fashion. This project was approved during the Board of County Commissioners ARPA project funding meetings. The PhotoKite tethered monitoring system provides 150-foot elevation scene monitoring during day and night and eliminates the need for building in a telescoping mast into the vehicle. Staff recommends approval of the CRU 22 mobile command vehicle and supporting equipment.
All right, I got a question. Just lack of memory, because I remember going over it. Does that come with a generator?
Sir, yes, sir. The way it's built is the generator is an underhood. It's a proprietary system for the vehicle, so it's a separate alternator that runs it. But we will have an external source also. So it plugs in shore power, 50 amp, but it will also run an external generator.
Well, I just want to confirm for myself or reaffirm that it also had its own generator in case you're not in a situation where you got shore power.
Yes, sir.
Because you may not have shore power where you're going, even if it's.
And most importantly, this is bringing a capability that doesn't exist in Camden County for us today, and that's satellite. So this is roof mounted. Imagine this is a dish antenna VSAT that is going to uplink itself and then acquire satellite and provide us directly voice over IP capability and internet, high-speed internet via that satellite when we've lost, following potentially a hurricane or tropical storm, all cellular. And if you look at Ian coming into Southwest Florida, that continues to be the #1 issue is lack of connectivity.
All righty. Anybody got any questions, Mr. White, concerning this?
Was this a item we discussed in our budget session?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought so.
Several times. All right, could I get a motion on it, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you, gentlemen.
unanimously. All right. This brings us to Ms. Hagler. I see you made it back in time.
Did. Good evening. I would like to request that the board approve a $60,178.50 hazard mitigation grant through the Georgia Emergency Management Agency. The grant will be used to purchase 2 AM radio stations. This will allow EMA and other county departments to increase capability in warning and communications. These stations are portable and can be placed around the county and programmed with an all hazards notification. This equipment can be used in aid in evacuations and other emergency situations. The county is responsible for 25% matching funds totaling $20,059.50. At this time, I would like approval to accept grant award as presented.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for this from Ms. Hagler? Nope. And you said this was, our part was 20,000?
20,000.
This AM mobile station, this is the kind of thing that you're riding by state parks or up and down the highway, tune into AM 590 and get updates, is that? Okay, Chuck.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. This gives us deployable capability to either do live voice to the public. AM radio is a prolific technology. You're going to find it in almost every vehicle. And it provides us an ability, if we were setting up as an example, in Irma, we fed 10,000 people over a span of about 12 days. As they were coming into these large parking lots at the Coastal College, we had no way to tell them to tune to a station so they would know, open the trunk, don't get out of the vehicle, slow, follow signals. So there's a lot of capability that you get with those AM. They'll do about 5 square miles in terms of having, and this is a legitimate AM radio, but it's deployable on a chassis that looks very similar to what you see with the variable message signs on the side of the highway on I-95 and that the county owns. The difference is this won't be flashing a message board. This will have the transceiver, it'll have the antenna dish, the array, the grounding, but you plug it out, deploy it, and it runs on solar.
Does it have a digital display to say tune to channel so-and-so?
No, sir, we would use the existing signs to put out to be able to set say that here's what I want you to tune to, or you could use code red to say AM stations have been deployed. Tune, as an example, AM 510 for Camden County your urgent communication.
This is the kind that when you pull up to the park that they broadcast for idiots that want to pet the bears, don't pet the bears.
Yes, sir.
Stay in your car.
Yes, sir.
You know, everybody. Most people tune in just to see what's going on.
Right.
So, yeah, I can see where it wouldn't, especially, you know, coming in out of the county and ingress and degress with traffic stuff where you can't stop or can't go, whatever. But most everybody's looking for certain things, and you can kind of give them a quick, you got about a 5-minute range there, 5-10 minutes?
It can be as long as you want, but you have, yeah, you calculate it based on how long they're in signal range. Absolutely. About 5 square miles. So.
All right, anybody got any questions? All right, could I get a motion on this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a first and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Now y'all could be disc jockeys.
You want a picture, Julie?
Huh?
Come on, show us a picture.
I forgot.
This is last one.
Yep. Sure. This, brings us to our reports.
There's no changes to the calendar at this time, but I will remind you that the next board meeting is on November 1st. And prior to that, we will have a work session that begins at 5 a.m.
November 1st, work session, 5 p.m.
And I'll remind you closer to the date.
No administrator comments? Any additional comments from the public? This is our final public comment section. All right, at this point in time, I want to make mention of something. Yeah, I see you. You didn't think you was gonna slip out of here without me saying anything, did you? Mr. Boatwright, how long you been here? 5, 6?
Yeah.
You might as well. We're gonna talk about you.
I thought about coming up to the public comment, but I'm still with y'all, so I was maybe thinking about trying to come back, but I figured
What matter, you were coming up either way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Really.
Well, for those that don't know, Mr. Boatwright's accepted a position up in Glenn County as a deputy county administrator. Is that correct?
Assistant county manager, yes, sir. Same thing, doesn't matter.
Assistant,
Yeah.
deputy, semantics. You want to be the assistant? We'll call you the assistant.
That's all right, that's fine.
You know, I will say that I'm a little disappointed. As a Marine, I didn't think you'd leave us behind. You hurt me here.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
That was a good one, Gary.
That was good.
He said he's not leaving you for long.
Have you been stewing on that one?
No, it just came to me a minute ago.
Don't worry, you're not leaving him for long.
That's right.
Yeah, well, anyway, you know, it's, I do want to make some to you and about you. You know, you came here, as I recall, from Folkestone.
Mhm.
And, you've, over the last 5, 6 years, you certainly have grown to the job. And, to the point to where, you were doing a lot of things here. And I'm just, I hope Glenn appreciates what you're capable of bringing.
Thank you.
I still cuss them and don't like them now, but, you'll be missed here. And I've enjoyed spending all these years working with you. And, you know, it's, and I think staff has. It took a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, nobody likes change. You know, they just didn't really appreciate how warm and fuzzy you really were.
That's right, yeah.
I
Just had to
understand.
warm up to me.
But I don't begrudge anyone moving up to a better opportunity, and I hope things work out. I see you got your baby mama here.
I do. I'll tell you, she's stuck with me through thick and thin through all of this. So she, you know, what everybody here does not
You're
hear.
trying to tell me she's the real Murray?
Oh yeah, she sticks up. You know, she takes it on the chin pretty well. I mean, trust me, she gets to hear a lot of the vent stories. So, you know, that's my true best friend, and she hears the stuff that nobody else gets to hear. So it's good.
Bless your heart, dear.
Yeah. I always ask her how she tolerates me so much. So, but she does. She does. a
I'm
good
sure
job
we
of
can find a lot of folks who'd wonder the same thing,
it.
but I'm sure she has spotted redeeming qualities within you.
She does.
And I know you guys are coming up here in November, and your lives are really gonna get busy. You just think you've been busy.
A lot of change all at once.
Get your sleep in now. Cause you're gonna be going to work bleary-eyed. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know how much, I've enjoyed working with you, Sean. I really appreciate it, and, you know, just the changes and watch you evolve over time. And we'll certainly miss you here. I will, at least for the next 2 months, 2.5 months. So nonetheless, good luck, and we wish you well. Come see us. Because now that you're gone, there's gonna be a lot of things blamed on you, as you well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've told staff I'm ready for it. So just
Well, it doesn't
Let it
matter.
go.
It's gonna happen anyway. Well, you know, that's what Sean said. That's what Sean did. So you're gonna be the scapegoat for years to come.
That's good. It's good.
But I figure you'll get over it. Anybody else want to pick on him?
Yeah, just to say, Sean, you carried a heavy load while you were here. We deeply appreciate everything you did for Camden County. Myself, you and I have worked great together, I feel, and
Yes, sir.
consider you not only as a great assistant administrator, but also a friend.
Thank you. You as well,
So
everybody.
we appreciate everything you did for us, and I know you'll do great where you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, lady. We've had more than one conversation. Anyway, we wish you well, buddy.
I'd just like to say one more thing, Chairman. I appreciate you. I remember when we met years ago when you were at Charlton County, and I thank you for everything you've done for Camden County, myself. And I'm so happy to call you my friend. I know it was a hard decision, but I'm like everybody else. I hate it. I hate you leaving, but I understand.
Yes, sir.
And
I appreciate that.
anything for, I think I speak for everybody on this board, just call us.
I don't understand. You leave all this?
So I'm gonna miss the talks in the shop.
I will as well. I really will. I'm not going far though, so I've told all the staff to bother me as much as you need to, and I'll do the same down here.
Same thing, maybe we'll see each other on the softball field.
I think we'll.
You sound like an ex-girlfriend. You ain't coming back to see us anymore. Oh, God, I'm glad to get away from them.
Well, I think one good thing about being close to home and really close to Camden is the opportunity for partnership, you know, bridging that gap for what we've been able to accomplish here in Camden, taking a lot of our accomplishments here up to Glen, and then identifying what maybe they have accomplished up there that we have not done down here, and trying to help you all out. So I think there's going to be a lot more opportunities that you'll see coming in the future. So I hope to still somewhat, try to assist the county as much as I can, even though it'll be from another angle. So I do hope to continue to do that.
Just remember, we all need that new cell phone.
Oh, I will, absolutely. Everybody will have it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, take care of yourself, buddy.
Thank you.
Wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I'm gonna come shake your hand. They like expecting them better than they do Marines, you know. And we'll talk to you.
Motion.
With that said, we'll take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We got 1 and 2. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.